How is the governor responding to our exclusive report? There are calls tonight for Governor Newsom to investigate the state's high-speed rail project and questions about whether voters were lied to when they approved a billion-dollar project.
It's all in response to what our investigative unit uncovered earlier this week. Senior investigator Stephen Stock broke the story. He joins us now with an update. And Stephen, that does include a proposal as well.
That's exactly right, Jessica. This is that proposal. Some lawmakers believe it, because of what's in there, is very concerning. It's 212 pages long, and it's a report to the state legislature issued just a day and a half ago. Staff at the High-Speed Rail Authority virtually abandoned the idea in this report of bringing a bullet train to the Bay Area, at least for now. Instead, this new plan is to build regular rail in the Central Valley, rail that cannot support a high-speed train. Now, both critics and even supporters say, this isn't what the public signed up for. Under this latest plan, California's High-Speed Rail Authority refocuses on just completing the Central Valley section from Merced to Bakersfield. That includes only laying plain rail or regular standard rail track, not high-speed rail track on that infrastructure. According to the report to lawmakers, this will serve as a building block for a high-speed train eventually, say 2028 or 2030 at the earliest, and only then in the Central Valley, and will allow the agency to figure out how to raise more money to build out the rest of the project.
Because they know it's a loser.
Critics are crying foul, saying this approach goes against both the spirit and the letter of Proposition 1A, the $10 billion bond measure California voters approved to build high-speed rail back in 2008. In your mind, does that violate Prop 1A?
Yes.
Stuart Flashman is an environmental attorney who's already filed several lawsuits to nullify Prop 1A. He says this latest move to only operate in the Central Valley for now, as well as the report's admission that the system will not have enough riders to pay for itself, clearly violates Prop 1A. And he says in his mind is potentially illegal.
It's certainly not what the voters thought they were voting for.
Do you think the state is legally exposed to potential lawsuits for violating Prop 1A?
Oh, yeah. They definitely are. There's a very strong legal exposure here, and I don't think the legislature can get them out of this.
We passed.
San Jose Democratic Senator Jim Bell serves as an ex officio member of the High-Speed Rail Authority, and he continues to support it. He disagrees this new plan violates Prop 1A, but he does agree it leaves Silicon Valley and L.A. out. And he wants that changed.
No, I'm not totally happy with it. I think that's what the governor wanted to do, but I want him to do this stuff in Silicon Valley. I think if we do that, it'll make the project closer to reality, and it'll show a sign that we're going to get to Silicon Valley with this high-speed rail project.
Legalities and politics aside, our earlier reporting found that at the present rate of construction, high-speed rail cannot make its federally mandated deadlines and may have to return billions of dollars in federal grants. This graph shows the problem. Look at the top line, $149 million a month, the target spending pace that high-speed rail must achieve to meet the deadline of December 2022. Now look at the actual construction spending graph. It only hit that mark once in the last year. All the other months are well below the target, 3 times slower than the target says it should be. And the construction spending trend line, this line, is going down, not up like it should be. Meaning, according to 3 different high-speed rail officials, they will miss the deadline by years.
But the problem I have with the way high-speed rail goes about this is that they change definitions. This is a shell game.
Republican Assemblyman and longtime high-speed rail critic Jim Patterson of Fresno began calling for California's Attorney General to investigate after our report first aired.
Your exhaustive investigative story that we now have the COO in public, on-air, on-the-record testimony that absolutely contradicts the plan that they're putting in front of the people of California.
Now, Senator Bell believes he can still salvage this project and bring high-speed rail here to the Bay Area by about 2030, or at least somewhere in that date. He wants to extend the state cap-and-trade program through 2050, and he believes that in combination with more federal grants, that could pay for all of it and finish the job. Others, however, that I talked to are not so sure. One thing that is now certain, high-speed rail is now under the microscope by both lawmakers and the public than ever before.
This was going relatively unchecked for a long time.
For a long time, and we finally uncovered a lot of the problems that have been going on, and there's more to come. We're digging even further.
Okay, thank you very much.
You bet.